All right. Very excited to be joined by tournament host and now player of the Mizuho Americas Open, Michelle Wie West. Michelle, just kind of want to start with year 4 of the Mizuho Americas Open. What's been kind of the most gratifying, exciting, the evolution of this tournament? What's been kind of the elements you've been most excited about, seeing it grow?
Yeah, this being year 4 is crazy to think of in general. We think back a lot to where and why this tournament was created, and I feel like every year we do such a good job building upon that. The why of this tournament is really the mentorship part of it. The juniors are a huge part of this event, and me being involved with it, my genesis of my career, it just really allows these 24 top girls, our next generation, to kind of play an LPGA event, to live the life of a pro. We match a pro with a junior, and the mentorship part of it is a big deal of this week. Another part of it, which is, again, all these are pillars within Mizuho's company. So it's very integrated within, my DNA, Mizuho's DNA, the LPGA's DNA, and I think that just creates such a magical atmosphere. Another thing in Mizuho's company's, virtue pillars is elevating women, and elevating with that comes, to me, elevating the player experience. From year 1, we really dedicated this tournament to making sure the players feel special when they come here. They feel supported. From the first year, we've given every player a hotel room. This year, not being able to have the ferry transport us from the city to the golf course, Ford has really stepped up and given every person, a player in the field, a vehicle, which is also another way that we want to make sure the players feel supported. Another is, dining. Obviously I'm a foodie, and we all know that. And I want to make sure that, players are treated as athletes, and, when they're here, they are nourished, they are fed well. Another way we show up is just the player experience in general. Player gifting, we put a lot of effort into it. Delta and Starbucks gave every player $250 gift card. It's like the little things that really add up, and I want to make sure that the juniors that are in this field also too, they come here a lot of times, this is their first LPGA event, and I want their standards to be up where it should be, and them to kind of be like, hey, this is what the LPGA standard is like. So year 4, we're extremely excited. It's been amazing to see the top players on our tour show up every year, year after year, right? Because it's not a requirement that they're here. It's a choice. We're extremely honored that year after year we get such a good field, and that just means everything to me.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we'll go ahead and open up to media. For media in the media center, if you have a question, go ahead and raise your hand. We have some roaming mics. For those on the Zoom, just let me know in the chat function. But we'll go ahead and start with Sarah.
I guess the big question for a lot of people is why right now for you. I know playing at Riv in a few weeks' time, but wanted to get a competitive rep in, I'd imagine. But why did you want to tee it up here, of all places?
Yeah, I think, being able to tee up at my event, is extremely special to me. As you kind of touched upon, I'll be playing the U.S. Open at Riv. And it worked out perfectly with timing. I think I knew a few people to give me a sponsor invite, so that was an easy part of it. But yeah, no, it's I've been talking to my team and talking to Mizuho as well too. I feel like as a tournament host, it's actually super helpful for me to be on the player side of things and to experience that. And I can use this experience to hopefully become a better tournament host in the future and kind of give feedback to the sponsors to be like, hey, this is where we need to, keep elevating. This is where we're doing really well. So it's almost like I'm an undercover employee, so to speak, this week. So I'm really enjoying it.
How much has it meant to you to set that standard for LPGA events and to serve your fellow athletes in this way as a tournament host, but also as a kind of a big sister to a lot of young girls out here and young athletes? I know you're really involved in the Ford Power Her Drive program, but what has it meant to you to be able to be that energy?
Yeah, honestly, the big reason why, my post-retirement career has been the way that it is because when I made the decision to step off the golf course, I really wanted to free up my mind space and my mental energy, my emotional energy to really give back and to really help the next generation of golfers. When you're playing, and I'm feeling it right now, it's so hard to divest your energy when you're playing golf. It's all consuming. And it makes it even more sense to me, like why I chose to do what I did. It really cements it. The Ford Power Her Drive program, the Mizuho Americas Open, these take up time, and these I can't do if I'm playing full time. So I'm really excited that I'm able to invest my energy in the things that matter to me most. And yeah, I hopefully this keeps growing into bigger and bigger. The Girls Inc. Summit yesterday, over the last 4 years, has gotten more and more successful, more and more bigger. So, I'm extremely excited to see where that's headed as well.
Yeah. I know that a big part of this week is the mentorship program that you've enlisted for these junior girls. I'm curious if there's anything that and I know a lot of people look up to you for advice and just to get little nuggets from you, but is there anything that you've taken away over these last 4 years that one of the juniors has maybe instilled in you that you're like, oh, I kind of forgot about that, or that feeling?
It's just honestly being around the youth. They have such a different energy, such a great energy that every time I'm around them, I share space with them. It really does kind of bring me back to the why. You guys all know my golf journey, being able to, play in LPGA tournaments since I was, 12, 13, and to kind of see them kind of do the same. It's really cool. We spent Monday night is the junior welcome party, and, was talking to them. And a big part of it, it's not only just your golf game, is really being a pro. And I told the juniors this year, you are expected to be a professional this week. Even though you're a junior, things aren't going to slide. You got to be, you have to be responsible for your caddy. If they're not doing a proper rake job, if they're, standing outside, you need to speak up for yourself. These are things that young women need to learn. And I think it's such a great environment for them to learn that. It's hard. It's hard speaking to a caddy. It's hard being a boss, right? We're trying to explain to them, you are your boss of your team this week. If someone, in your team is not up to the standard, then you need to take action. These are things about being professional. And I love these instances because I think as women, as young women, it's extra work needs to put in to kind of believe in yourself to do so. So it's little things like that I think will help in the future for them.
Yeah, and I know that there's so many players that come out here and say that unless that they know that they can win, they won't be out here. So I'm just curious about some of your expectations for this week.
Yeah, no, I would, definitely not just practicing to be like, hey, I mean, there's a bit part of that. Like, I don't want to embarrass myself. There's that aspect to the practice, but, I definitely want, it would be really cool. And, as a competitor, it's hard not to kind of want it, yearn for it. That's the whole reason why we're out here, right? But for me, truly, it's not just about this week. It's really about, I started practicing end of November, end of December, and the past 6 months truly has been really a special ride for me. I did it without anyone knowing. I didn't make an announcement, and it was just something that I really got to share with my daughter. She's now almost 6, and, every day I would obviously spend less time with my kids just because I'm back practicing. But, it was nice to kind of share stories and be like, hey, like today, like, oh, things didn't really work out, but, I worked through it. And these are things that, if I wasn't playing in a tournament, I wouldn't be able to share these stories and these journeys. And it's been really cool to be able to share that with my daughter. And she wrote me a long letter. And then at the end of it, she wrote a check mark, yes or no. And she wants me to report back if I won the tournament or not. So I got homework from her for sure. So, yeah.
All right. We'll go front left here, and then, yep, right in the middle.
Michelle, when was the moment when it dawned on you that competitive was going to be in the rearview mirror and the next phase of your life was going to take on? Was there a particular moment or tournament or conversation that you had when that situation was now going to go in a rear view place?
Yeah, I mean, 2023 was Pebble. That was my last competitive round. Before that, I mean, I had played sparingly, and it was a long conversation. I don't think it was one moment, but it was a lot of little moments leading up to a definitive feeling that I was done. And, you know, even though I'm coming back and playing Mizuho and US Open, I still holistically feel very done. These feel like bonus points for me almost. I feel extremely grateful and lucky to be given the space to come back and, you know, be in this space again. But yeah, holistically, it probably happened, you know, somewhere along the way around 2022, 2023, where definitively I felt done.
What's the most lasting memory that you have from your competitive days?
You know, it's the camaraderie. It's kind of like the players. You know, before I was here a few days ago, I was in Jupiter, Florida, and I got to play with two of my best friends on tour, Jessica Korda and Marina Alex. And I had to be in Florida for one day, and I told them we need to play. I need to touch a club. I'm having anxiety about playing. Like, I need you guys to come play with me. You know, and we talk about it all the time. You know, it's just. It's so fun. There's so many great memories about, you know, being stuck in rain delays. It's always like the shared misery aspect of it, but that kind of always was like the fun part. You know, playing 6 weeks in Asia, you know, those kinds of memories. It's been really fun to kind of be back out here and see the players, and you know, there's a lot of new faces, a lot of young names, and I think that's, you know, also super exciting. I'm excited to make new friends.
You're mentoring junior players this week. Who were your mentors when you were coming out?
Yeah, you know, I was extremely lucky. When I was 13, I got paired in a pro-am with Meg Mallon, and since that day, she kind of took me under her wing, and I was very fortunate with having Meg Mallon, Beth Daniel, you know, Kari Webb as some of my mentors, and to have them as my sounding board, it's just. I got super lucky.
Do you see opportunities forward in professional golf that men and women will be playing more together? Do you see that happening, and how do you envision that unfolding?
I hope so. I mean, you know, with TGL, I see that as a perfect opportunity for men and women to play together. I think that it's going to be super exciting for that to happen.
My question is, Rose Zhang and you are quite special, I mean, unique on the tour because you playing professional golf as well finish your study at Stanford. So Rose said you're her mentor and encourage him and inspire her. My question is, talking about the next generation, are you going to encourage those talent girls to take same path?
You know, I think everyone has their own journey, has their own path. I'm here to tell you that if you were to choose to go to college and golf, it is possible. It's not easy, but it's possible. And if I never want anyone to feel limited, I want, you know, every woman out there to feel empowered and to feel like they have every choice in the world to make. You know, for me personally, education was important. I think talking to Rose a lot, you know, that seemed like it was important for her as well too. And, you know, Meg Mallon also told me the same thing too, because I, you know, was in the same boat, talking to her, being like, hey, like I really want to go to Stanford, but, you know, I also want to turn pro. Like, what do I do? And she's like, why not do both? And I was like, oh. And I just needed someone to tell me that, right? I just needed someone to tell me like that anything I want to do is possible. So, you know, I'm just here to tell people that anything you want to do is possible. Will it be easy? Absolutely not. But it is possible if you want to do it.
Go ahead back here.
Michelle, which aspect of your game is the most difficult to excel at this week coming
Putting?
back? Well, physical, mental, or emotional?
Definitely mental. I don't know, physical. I feel pretty old right now and everything hurts. But I would say mental for sure. I get hits with moments of like being like really nervous and I like freeze up. But, to be fair, like I feel like have a lot of really good clarity on the feeling of being nervous and whatnot, and been talking to a lot of players actually about like what to do, how do you do when you handle being nervous and whatnot. But kind of getting back into like the mode of playing. There's really only a few things that I actually do when I get nervous. I just need to not do them, which is easier said than done. But yeah, it's all difficult.
You mentioned TGL, and you're a committed WTGL player. Curious what you think of the new logo that was unveiled yesterday, and then also what do you hope WTGL can do for LPGA athletes?
Yeah, from day one, I get very excited about the aspect of, playing co-ed matches. I think that would be really exciting. I think these LPGA players have such amazing personalities. You can kind of already tell at the press conference that have been coming out. I think any platform that can give LPGA players a sounding board and an opportunity to showcase their talent, their personalities, I think TGL is perfect for that. I think we're going to reach new audiences, hopefully. I think, with, the innovation and technology that TGL provides, I think it's going to is a perfect place to showcase, everyone's talents. We've, with our broadcast, you don't really see all that information. It's not so different on the PGA Tour broadcast. You have shot tracer, it almost looks the same, right? Theoretically on the screen. But for us, you don't see the shot tracker. You don't see that much data on the screen. So I think the fans are going to be really excited to see all that data.
All right, Beth Ann, if you want to go ahead and unmute.
Oh, hi, Michelle.
Hi.
So Mother's Day weekend, obviously coming up. I was hoping you could offer some perspective on the challenges the modern LPGA mom faces in trying to win.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. I think, I think in a sad way, you kind of see the numbers of moms being out here dwindling down. I think that's just faced with the harsh reality that being a mom out here is tough. I know that I've been having a lot of internal discussions with Craig about, what we can do as a tour to help alleviate some of that. I think that's really, a big topic for us. We never want to make it feel like the tour is too hard or we're not helping the moms out enough or they feel like they need to make a choice. Again, it comes back to, I really want to help empower women to feel like they can be out here. The moms out here are super moms. I see it firsthand. It's not easy. Even though there's daycare, it's so hard. The amount of stuff that, moms need to lug around on top of the golf bags and on top of everything else, it's hard. But at the same time, I think being a mom gives you such a fresh perspective on everything. I think your kids really give you energy, and I think it really gives you this sense of fresh energy that a lot of moms, I think feel. So yeah, it's just tough. It's tough in general to be a mom, but it's a great task. It's a great privilege to have. And for Mother's Day, hopefully we can do things here to make them feel extra special.
Is there something you could share that you've mentioned to Craig that you think would improve mom life?
Not yet, because it's still a work in progress, but when we have some things cement and applicable, I'll definitely come to you.
Oh, awesome. Okay, and then one last thing, just your thoughts on the run that Nelly Korda is on right now, and how you think the LPGA can position itself to take advantage of it.
Yeah, she's unbelievable. The talent that she possesses in her pinky alone is unbelievable. The stretch of golf, you've seen it a couple of seasons ago as well too, and now it's just every year she's just getting better and better. She seems really happy off the golf course, which is what I care about. And I think I hope mainstream media really picks it up more. I think the LPGA is doing a great job of showcasing her talent. I think the broadcast is, us being live every week is huge. And I think just do everything we can to support her and to showcase her personality as well too. I think it's good.
Thank you. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
And then just one last one from me. Yana Wilson, your inaugural junior winner, playing in this event as a rookie professional. How cool of a full circle moment is that for you?
Oh, it's amazing. Year one of Mizuho Americas Open, we're all talking internally, like, wouldn't it be great if, our junior wouldn't, it's crazy to think that 4 years later, this is actually happening. I mean, she played last year as a pro as well, but this year she actually earned her card. She's a full rookie on the season. I'm extremely excited to be playing with her on Thursday. Her and I have gotten pretty close, so that was a fun pairing to see. But this is proof of the pudding, right? This is exactly why we're doing this. Everyone here is good enough to be a pro one day, and we're here to show them that and give them confidence that and to use this as a jumping board.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Michelle. Thank you for your time. Best luck this week.
Thank you.